So this is I think my two RAs will help to disseminate the handouts or the poster for you. This is for pronunciation, corpus-based English pronunciation training program. So in this program, we organize several sections, 3 workshops and 4 workshops and 2 online sections. And free to join us and register this workshop or online lessons. So, and then we have a competition at the end of this training program. So we really welcome you to join this program. So maybe I understand that, in this social movement, maybe you are not able to join all the sessions, but at least you can join 1 or 2, or you can just join the online sections. So welcome to join 1, 2, 3, or all. As I know, maybe not all of you will take my phonology class next semester, promotion, ENG 6212. That's the phonetics phonology class, yes. So if you cannot take the course, this is a good time to have a test and know how to, Just let me know that you can have some tests, right, to see whether you are interested in phonetics, phonology, pronunciation. Okay, so there's a QR code. It's over there. Okay, so you can scan and then register. 1 or 2 or 3 or all. And finally, we have a competition. And we will have a competition, and after your presentation, and we'll choose top 3 pairs and then we'll give you awards. Okay, so I think that's very rewarding activities, right? Okay, so hopefully you can join us, and hopefully I can see you all next semester. Okay, thank you.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So nice to see you here in the morning. Wow, it's definitely good morning. Well, this is your attendance sheet. Of course, I'm not going to take your attendance. The requirement is not that important now because of the situation in Hong Kong. But I would like to know who is here, so that those who are not here, I can give them some other help later on. Okay. All right. Now, so let's have a revision about what we learned 2 weeks ago on nouns and noun phrases. Remember that? Yeah, so how to identify the nouns? There are 3 ways. One is to look at the distribution, that means the syntactical structure, where you find it. The second one is the morphological structure. What kinds of structure can you use, or will the nouns appear? What kinds of structure do they have? Morphological structure. There are 2 kinds of suffixes, right? What kinds of suffixes? Plural morpheme, yeah, the inflectional morpheme, the plural S, and also the lexical structure, the derivational morpheme. NESS, yes. What else? ER, teacher. TION, for example, institution. Promotion, good. Promotion, ION. Okay. And also the third one is the semantic meaning, of course. So there are different kinds of nouns. What are they? Open class, closed class nouns. I think you have mixed up the open word class and the closed word class. No. So what are proper nouns? About person, about people, about places. Common nouns. Yeah, common nouns can be divided into 2 kinds. Countable and uncountable ones. So count nouns and mass nouns. And also there's one more kind. Pronouns, referring to some people. Usually they have the anaphoric reference, right? And then the structure of noun phrases. Well, you can see the structure here. What is the most important word in a noun phrase structure? The head noun. Yeah, the head noun. And before the head noun, you may have the determiner about the reference. The reference, like what kinds of reference? Definite and also indefinite. The definite reference means we know who the person is or what the thing is, identifiable. And indefinite reference refers to you don't know some new information. You don't know the person or the thing yet because it is first mentioned. Is that right? So new information. So usually the articles used for the new information are a and also in. Then the definite reference there. So apart from these two major kinds, we also have a kind of reference that refers to the whole class. What do we call it? Not general, but generic. The generic reference. Yeah. No, but apart from articles, a and there, to refer to reference, we also have other kinds of words that can be used for reference. Like to refer to closeness, what do you have? This and these. How about for something further away? That and those. For possession, ownership, mine, your, the possessive pronouns. And apart from these, there are also other kinds. Like, for example, if you want to ask a question, which teacher, for example, do you like most? Which teacher? Then, what is the reference? The determiner there. Which teacher do you like? This is a question. So, which is not a relative pronoun in this case. It is a question word. Which teacher? What color do you like? What fruit have you eaten? Whose book is this? So whose words these are? Interrogative pronouns or question words. So they are also about the reference, right? Well, refer to your handout. There are some other kinds. We'll talk about each of them now. But okay, after the determiner, we can have the premodifier. So what kinds of words can be the premodifier? Adjectives. For example, the silly girl, the silly child, silly. Or, so adjective, can it be another word class that can be the premodifier? Noun. So give me an example. An apple tree. Yes, apple then. Apple is a premodifier. Okay, after the head, we can have a postmodifier as well. All kinds of structures can be a postmodifier. Prepositional phrases, for example. An example of a prepositional phrase. Students in the classroom. The students in the classroom. Very good. And apart from prepositional phrases, adjective phrase, right? The students absent today are those busy teachers teaching in school. So the students absent is a postmodifier. Or it can also be a clause. Can it? Can be. A postmodifier can be a clause. Can you give me one example? A girl who is what? Who is tall, who is beautiful. A girl who is hardworking. Okay. So we can have relative clauses to be the postmodifier. Can it be a non-finite clause? Yes. So an example from the
The girl standing there.
Okay, the girl standing there. We all like girls. Have the head noun girl. The girl standing there. Good. So you see that we can have this kind of structure, Well, we can have a rather long structure depending on how many pre-modifiers we have got. Yeah. Okay, function of noun phrases. Wow. Subject, object, complement. These are the common uses of the noun phrases. But they can also be in a phrase, it can be a pre-modifier. Remember they say an apple tree, apple. All right, finally, we looked at normalization last time. What does it mean? Changing a verb or an adjective into a noun. Good. And then, for example, this word normalization is an example already. What is the stem, the root of this word? Nominal. Yeah, nominal. And then nominalize verb and normalization. How about identify? What is the nominalized noun verb? Identification. Identification. Then why do we use normalization? Yeah, usually in the formal style. And the use is that you can pack a lot of information because when you change it to become a noun, then you can have pre-modifiers and post-modifiers to make this noun phrase richer in terms of the meaning. You can add a lot of information to it, make it more compact. Okay? Right. You should have done the exercises. Do you have any questions? I've already shown you the answers as well. So any questions from you? Please put up your hand if you've got one and let me know. Yeah? Task 5. Let me see. Yeah, this one. About the koala. Number 9 and number 11. What? Okay. What's your question then?
Why number 9 is definite?
So here is about the amount of energy. Can you see the article there? The amount of energy. So when you see the article there, it can never be indefinite. And number 11, what's your question? Gina. Gina.
Why is indefinite? Because it mentioned energy has mentioned in
Mm-hmm.
and it mentioned again.
Well, it is different meaning here. Energy requirements refers to something else. Now here you can't see any definite article. Before that, well, it can't be definite. It can't have the definite reference. What might puzzle you is whether it is indefinite reference or generic reference. So the article can give you a lot of hints. When you see the word there, you can already immediately rule out indefinite reference. It must be either definite or generic. Because remember, we can also use the to refer to the whole class, like the lion. The lion is very fierce. We can also use the, but usually the most common ways to refer to the generic reference is plural form for countable noun. Plural form. Okay, any other questions?
I want to ask the 9 which is the head noun, amount or energy?
Amount. The amount of energy. Yeah, amount.
So if it's a prepositional phrase or the head noun should be before or after or no use.
Well, you have to look at the meaning there, right? Here it refers to maximizing the amount of something. So this is the head noun, the determiner, and then the postmodifier of energy is the postmodifier.
Like the pair of trousers. The head noun says the pair of trousers.
Here, one pair of trousers. For example, you say one pair of trousers. Then the verb after that will be singular or plural. One pair. Singular. So it tells you that pair should be the head noun. The subject verb agreement. Okay, any other questions?
A set of words. A set of words should are
A set of what?
a set of books.
Yeah, you can use a set of something, you still use the singular verb. Okay, then let's look at the last task. Comparing the three texts. Well, you have seen the answers already here. So I would like you to tell me the differences between them. What kind of text is the first one? Our seedling diary. What kind of text is it? It's a diary. Yeah, it's a diary. About how we planted some bean seeds and then we saw them grow, right? And then the second text, grow your own plants. What's that? What kind of text is it? Instructions telling people how to grow their plants. For those people who like planting, gardening. And text 3? What's that? It's not an instructional text, not a diary, but it is a kind of like a report, something more formal, more academic, right? So how are they different? By looking at the highlights, I think you can already tell me the differences. Could you tell your friends first? How are they different from one another?
and the breeze. Related to
All right. Okay, what have you observed? How will you say the differences? Now, in terms of similarities, they have got some similarities. All of these are about plants, about seeds, but they are different in terms of the communicative purpose. The first one, a diary about you planted some plants. So, what are the characteristics here about related to the nouns or noun phrases? What can you say? More pronouns. And what kind of pronouns are there? We, our. But because it's about a diary, writing, it's about yourself or your friends, your classmates. So, of course, there are lots of. How you describe we and our? Now you have learned grammar terms. First person pronoun. Yeah, the first person plural pronoun. Inclusive we or exclusive we? Inclusive. Including ourselves. Okay. There are also them, right? The pronoun them, and also they. What kind of reference is that? Referring to what? They. Refer to the seeds. Yeah, mainly it's about the seeds, the bean seeds. So what kind of reference? Anaphoric, cataphoric, or exophoric? Looking backwards, looking forwards, or looking outwards? Anaphoric, looking backwards. Well, we use anaphoric reference very often when we want to make the text more coherent. We don't repeat the same nouns again and again. We just use the anaphoric reference. So the use of them here referring to the seeds mentioned earlier. Okay, then how about the other noun phrases? How can you describe them? Like seeds, glass, ice cream containers, a plastic bag, some of the seeds, a couple of seeds, the dirt. What kind of nouns are there? Common nouns, yeah, common nouns. What else can you say? Common nouns, and they are, okay, many of them countable, and also, when they're countable, probably they are also concrete nouns, touchable, observable. You can see them, you can feel them. Okay, then how about text 2? Grow your own plants. Are they similar to the first text? Some of the noun phrases, are they similar? Yeah, they are. They look similar. So what is that similarity? Tell me. In text 2, there are a lot of concrete nouns, common nouns, concrete nouns. Well, why? Because we tell the audience, tell the readers how to do something, then it must be something concrete. So like the glass jar, seeds, the hammer, and nail, all these are concrete nouns. Okay, but there is one major difference in terms of nouns here. One major difference between text 1 and text 2. Text 1 has got a lot of what? Pronouns. What's that pronouns? Text 1. First person pronoun about ourselves. Then how about text 2? Yeah, here you have the second personal pronouns, not the first anymore. Why? Because you are telling the other people how to do something. You are telling the readers directly. So you use the second person pronouns, your or you. Alright, then how about text 3? Text 3 is very different from the first two texts. What can you say? Text 3. Academic writing, formal style. So how will you describe this text? Gina? Good, yeah, you can see this text is heavily normalized. You can see a lot of examples of normalization. For example, concentration, yeah, in the heading there, concentration. And also at the in the heading, what some more? Change, yeah, changes. Growth. So plenty of examples can be found here. Manipulation, composition, and so on. So a lot of normalized nouns to make the writing somewhat abstract, more formal. And what else can you say? Apart from using abstract normalized nouns. Maybe we just focus on the nouns first, not the verbs. The noun phrases. What can you tell? Yeah, a lot of abstract nouns. Look at the length of the highlight. What can you say? Compare 2 and 3. Really? Much longer, yeah? You see the long phrases in text 3 are much longer. Because here you can find a lot of prose modifiers, modifying the head noun or sometimes pre-modifiers. Right, for example, here, new techniques from molecular biology. So you have the post-modifier, a prepositional phrase. Or the value of seeds harvested from grain crops. What is the head noun in this phrase? Value, an abstract noun. Then it's post-modified by of seeds. Then seeds is post-modified by another structure, a non-finite clause, harvested from grain crops. So you see, value is post-modified by of seeds, and seeds is post-modified by another structure, a non-finite clause. So you can get really very complicated. So that's one use of normalization. You can pack a lot of information together by using pre-modifiers and post-modifiers. So strictly speaking, here, value is the head noun, then the whole part here is the post-modifier, the whole, of seeds harvested from grain crops. But in this prepositional phrase, well, the head noun, this word, the noun seeds, is post-modified by another structure. Okay. So in these 3 examples, we can find that, well, different text types have got different characteristics. And today, just now, we have talked about the noun phrases, and later on, we'll also look at the verb phrases. They are also different. Okay, any questions? If not, then shall we start the next topic? Well, before this class, 3 days ago, I tried to record a lesson on verbs and verb phrases for you. I finally gave up. I find it so boring to talk to a machine by myself. I'd rather see you, talking to you directly. So it's better to have our makeup class. Hand out for verbs and verb phrases. By the way, I know that there's one more worksheet on nouns and noun phrases about the names, identifying the names of the people. Have you got the names correctly? This one. An interesting activity to help students understand the differences between mass nouns and cant nouns. So what are their names? The first picture. The first picture here, what's the name of that person? Pat Smith. Yeah, Pat Smith. The second picture? Robin McDonald. Robin McDonald. And then the third noun is, the third person is Kim Patel. Kim Patel. And the fourth one? Joe Brown. Yeah, and the last one is Chris O'Connor. Alright? Alright, I repeat. First one, Pat Smith. Second, Robin McDonald. Third, Kim Patel. Fourth, Joe Brown. And the last one, Chris O'Connor. In this book, written by Thornbury, Uncovering Grammar, there are lots of consciousness-raising activities. They're quite interesting. You refer to the book for more ideas. Okay, now verbs and verb phrases. Well, I hope you have done the exercises 4A to 4I in Colin's book, and that can help you understand better, I'm sure. Now, in your self-study, I asked you to look at the first part, types of verbs, structural and functional, and also look at the different verb forms and the auxiliary verbs. And then today we'll focus on verb phrase structure and the different grammatical categories associated with verbs. And we'll focus on tense aspects and mood, about modality. I think you should have read it when you looked at auxiliaries. Now, I would like to look at the exercise together with you, and then we can see how much you understand the first part about different types of verbs. Okay. Just like nouns, when we look at different types of verbs, we also look at the three characteristics: the distribution, the syntactic structure, the semantic meanings, and also the morphological structure, right? So, can you tell me, without referring to the text yet, morphological structure, what are the inflectional morphemes for a verb? Third person singular S. He goes to school every day. Goes. Yeah? Possess the present participle, ing form. He's walking on the street. He's walking. ing. Past participle. He has broken my vase. broken. And also the basic form, verb form. Remember, the second text, instructional text, grow your plants, grow. Stand up, stand. And then, what else? Past tense, yeah. Yesterday, the class was cancelled, was past tense. The evening class was cancelled. We don't know what will happen today. Yes. Already cancelled. You have already received it. Then maybe we'll have the same makeup class here next week. You wonder? Yeah. In the morning like this. I have already booked a room. You came here, so 2 consecutive weeks this room. And I hope we don't need this room again. Alright, then how about the last one? The last one, the sixth form. There are 6 verb forms for verbs. Like you say he goes to school. How about we? We go to school. So go, the general present. So altogether there are 6 verb forms for verbs. And 3 of them are tense. That can tell you the tense. Like the present tense, general present, and also third person singular present tense, and the past tense. So these 3. And non-tense verb forms, ing form, present participle, past participle, broken, infinitive. Yeah. So those are the non-tense verb forms. Okay. So in this exercise, I think, well, you can do it very. You can find the verb forms very easily in task 1 there. Okay? Well, I assume that you have done this exercise, right? Before this class, I have uploaded the exercise to Moodle. Right, so you have done these. Well, so in terms of the structure, we can find examples of those 6 verb forms. First, past tense. What is that? An example of a past tense verb form. Yawn, and also, for example, lit and was, right? So that's the past tense verb form. And how about any third person singular present tense? Third person singular present tense?